Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Nifty report. We'll also cover the Bank Nifty as well. Look, to be honest, this can be counted in two different ways. It can be counted like this as an impulse wave to the upside, and currently we are moved into wave A, we're moving up into wave B, and then we can move down into wave C here and then move up from that point. Now, if wave C here is on more of an angle than wave A here, then we know that we're on the right track. I think it's also important too that we look to short this area through here, but at the same time, if we get support on top of 10,000 here, trading level 1, then we also need to be long from that point. So this is really, from a trading point of view, we need to be on the right side at the right time. Nothing more, nothing less. The guessing game of which count is going to be correct, we can leave that to others. We just need to take money from the market. The other count here, of course, is the bearish count here, where we look at this here as wave A here, wave B here, and wave C here. So what we really want to do is we just really want to work out where we should be long and we should be short. Now, obviously, we know that the 10,000 here, the trading level 1, the market is going to leave this number. It's going to go either up or it's going to go down. So we just really need to be on the right side at the right time. We need to work out what is support and what is resistance. If this number's going to be rejected, well, then we need to be on the short side. If the market's going to accept this number and find it as a nice support, then we need to be on the long side. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Not so much which count is probably right or probably wrong. I'm not really interested in that. I can't get an answer for that. So we just need to take the trade from the level. End of story. So with that in mind, let's just go to the intraday here on the hourly chart here. So what we've been looking for, so the top here can be wave B or wave 1 here. This move down here, it could be counted in a couple of different ways. I'm not that interested in it. We've reached our target area here, and now we are moving up here. Now, also with this as well here, moving up here, I'm looking at this being counted as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here. And then we're looking for the market to move down lower from that point. So, but we need to look at both sides, right? So this is what we're going to be doing. So now this move up here, yes, it could be wave 1 and this could be wave 2, and we could be going straight up here further. Now, if that's the case, then we need to be, we need to understand at what point we can go long, what point would be safe to go long. So we know from the high here to the low here, the 61.8% comes in just over the 10,000 area there. You can refine that. What I'm thinking about here is that if the market, let's look at the bullish side for a moment, this little leg up through here, we're looking for 5 waves. We can have a look at this in more detail in a moment. We'll just stay here for a second. Wave 1 here, wave 2 here, going up for wave 3, 4, and then 5 going up here, creating the first high above the level. So that first high above the level there is what we're waiting for. We don't want to chase that being long. Sure, you can trade up here and do whatever you need to do, but I'm just waiting for the 5 waves, and we'll look at this in more detail, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to finish. That first high above the level, that's what we're looking for here, right? So once that comes into play, then we can look at this pattern here. So if we look at that pattern just in our basic trading levels, classic trading levels pattern here, if this is the 10,000 here, we're waiting for the arrival up to the 10,000. There'll be some sort of reaction here, most likely. Doesn't have to be, and we can look at that too. But either way, at one point or another, whichever pattern that we look at, we'll look at this first high above the level. It's not that we want to go long in this area here. We just want that to come into into play. Now it'll only come into play when it does it and then drops back. Then it makes it the first high above the level, of course, and then it normally will drop back below the level, and then it will find its level up. So we can go along above this level, and if we can refine it, we can go to here. There may be a case where it doesn't drop back below the level here. So this is the variation on that pattern where it doesn't drop below here, but we still got the first entry point up here, the first high above the level. We can go long through that. If you can find a lower entry on the second high, that's good as well to do that. And the other pattern that if it doesn't stop here and just continues to move up here, I just call that the overshoot pattern, where it doesn't stop here and just continues to move up here. Now this is reasonably common, but not as common as the other ones. Now once again, we're still looking for our first high above the level, and what I normally find is that the distance above it goes will be the distance below it goes, as a rule of thumb, just generally speaking. Okay, so give you that sort of, I give you a bit of perspective in things. And then what happens is that the level through here becomes the balance line for this whole correction here, and if you look closely enough you'll see it. And then what you're waiting for is support over here again. You can take this high here if you wanted to, or this one here, or you can refine it. As you get better and better at these things, you improve and your skill set gets better. It's a bit of science, a bit of practicality, and a bit of skill, and that's done by, hours. So this is the kind of thing that we would be looking for to find support on this level here, right? On the short side, first of all, at this stage of the game, we can look to go short below this level here, because this move up, I know that that's an impulse wave. I don't need to look into that. I know that's corrective. We'll make a new high above that. There may be some correlation in terms of equality between this leg and moving up here a little bit higher up here. It might go up to 10,100, the next number one here, which will be strong. So, but at the same time, if this gives me 5 waves up here, then the market can't go below this wave 2 low here. So that creates the short trade at that point. So that's the safe trade at that point. Okay. So being safe, that means that if you've already got a few positions in here, then you could load up a little bit on that. Now I've taken this trend line through here based off these 2 lows here, not this one here. You could do that and it'll bring you into a sharper picture, but the problem with that is that you may end up getting sort of triggered in when you don't want to get triggered in. It actually hasn't confirmed yet. Because also too, what we're looking at here as well is that, let's just look at the bear side for a moment. So let's say we get our 5 waves up here. And then if we get 5 waves up here, then if the market's going to be bullish, then it's going to have a 3-wave correction, right? And then move up again. So we could go short on this first low here, right? On the retest of that, and go low through here. But that might trap you there. You can do it, but it might trap you. So, but the second low, because that would be a 5-3-5 structure here, the second low here, that would be acceptable to go short at there, because that would be an ABC pattern at that point, and then any further move down from that point would trigger it. If you draw a line through these 2 lows here and you see this market come in and touch it here, then the other point here too, just to make, is that, when we talk about this level up here, when a market moves through a level, so we can do it here, the market, just doing it upside down now on the short side, the market will come down to the number, a level, bounce off it, come down, may even have another little bounce off here most likely, but then fall through here and come back and retest here. So it's that low here that you're looking for on the downside here. But that's the same with the trend line here as well. If the market's coming down here, it'll do the same thing. It just needs to migrate from one side to the other, and you just need to know that would be the safe space. But you can go short in any of these as long as you know you can do whatever you want to do in the market, as long as you know what you're doing and you can control your exposure and your rewards and so on and so on. So this little setup here is this one here on that green line here, and then you could do the same again. You could also do the same with, we're in group 2 here, because I have to say that while the market is in group 2 here and group 1 here, then it belongs to this number here. It's only when this here becomes the retested resistance, and especially the 72 here, once that becomes the resistance, then you can start building in the short side and also under here as well. And then when the 5 becomes the resistance here as well, you can build in on the short side there as well. So let's just go into the 15-minute chart. I don't know what I've done on the tick or the 15-minute chart. We'll just check it out. Okay. So it's okay. I just might go to the tick chart instead. Okay, we just need a bit more data in here. So we could look at this as the wave B here, or wave 2, doesn't matter. And this, the bottom one down here would be wave A here in orange, and then wave C. So we're looking at this stage, I'm lining this up really with the US markets to a point. I know Indy can do its own thing, and that's what I love about it. But at the same time, I can see that it's moving in the same way at this stage. So wave A here, an A and a B and a C wave here for wave B, and then we're looking for 5 waves up here. So this is the safe trade here below this level, which we can just move that up there. You could probably even move that up there, but I'll just leave it there for the time being. So in doing this here, we can just simply start counting here. I wonder if that's wave, no, that's in 5 waves there, so we'll just put it on this one here. This one will go up here, and there'll be a wave 4, and wave 5 up here. This will be wave 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, and wave 4 here. That might get a bit more complicated there, but we've got a wave 5, yep, wave 5 here. So we're going to get this to let's just focus in on this for a second. I think that's right. This might get a little bit uglier here, but let's just see from this wave 2 low here to this wave 3 here. Yeah, it could pull back down to this point here. It may be there, it may be there, or it may be, I mean, that looks kind of impulsive here, so you'll probably get, but that's the 38.2% retracement level, so we can look at that here. If we use this as the 1, 2, 3, 4, oh, that could be the ABC here. Oh, I've got to check now. It could pull into that space anyway. It doesn't really matter. We don't care about that at the moment. But what we do care about is this wave 5 here of wave 3. And then there's going to be wave 4 that can pull to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. And then wave 5 here of wave C. So this will be the first high above the level here. I can't draw on this side of the price here, but what I can on this side. So we've got wave 3 here to here. We've got wave 4 sorting itself out here. Not sure what's going to occur there. I need to pull that apart on 20-tick chart. I'm only on 100 here. And then wave 5 up here for this one here. So the arrival. This is the reaction here for this wave 4 here is an ABC. And then we're looking for 5 waves up here for wave C. That may take us up to the 100 here. I don't know. But that's where we are at that point. That becomes the long trade trigger at that point. And otherwise we start to work down lower from that point there. So that's that. We'll just have a quick look at the Nifty Bank Nifty. I really need to do some work on this, but from the top here, I was looking at this as I can see 5 waves here, so 1 and 2, then 1 and 2 and 3, and probably 4 here, a bit of an overlap, and then wave 5 here. So I think we've got wave 4 to come in here and wave 5 to come in here. Once again, we'll just allow this to play out here as well. I've got it as an ABC here. I need to pull this apart through here again. I need to see if this here is actually part of this wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5 here. I need to check on that. But what I'm interested in here to see if there's an impulse wave down through here. If there is 5 waves, 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the third, fourth, and fifth here. If there is that wave, then this low here, this becomes is this the drawing tool? How do I get the drawing tool on this thing? So wave 4 there, and I have to do that again, do I? And wave 5 here, and so this here, this low here, that becomes critical for the short trade at that point. So I don't know how to work this charting program here. It's just that Bank Nifty's on it and makes it even. That low here, that becomes the trigger. We need that in there. That's the, there we go. Did it. So, yeah, I mean, if it's going to be a long trade at that point, then we can look, we take that high here and this low here, look for the 61.8%, and then we can start going long probably on 2100 here if that's going to be the case. But otherwise, we can also look to be short at this point here. We're just using this number here and the current pattern in this space here to get the next trade, to get the next direction, to get the next trend, because markets are just trends and corrections of different degrees, So all we need to do work with this particular number here, which is a major trading level 2, and we can look for that direction there. There's a good possibility that this whole market is this whole thing here, as I pointed out before here, this whole thing being corrective here as an A wave here. I can't see that there. Can I bring that in here? Is that better? All of this up for the A wave, the B wave, and a C wave here. So we can have a top in play here. And this could be the first leg down here. Can I click on that, clone that, copy that? What's the difference? Wave 1 here and wave 2 coming back up here for this. So this can be the beginnings of the move down. That's why it's important for us to understand what the setup should be in terms of Elliott wave and the trading levels. And this is what it would be here. So we'll just allow this to play out. We don't need to rush. We can't rush. We just the market's the boss, and we need to do what we're told. And we need to do what we're told at the right time. I know that's very difficult for new traders, because as new traders, we're intelligent people and we are in a trading position because we like to call our own shots. But I've got news for you: the market's the boss, and you're the worker. so things have changed. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks very much. Cheers.